Hi, Gerd. Before talking to you about your IHF presidency, I would like to talk about something different because we're meeting in some would say your second home. And tell us something about that.
I think my wife would refuse, but actually we are meeting in Cafe House, which is my favorite restaurant and the favorite restaurant of all people involved in handball in my hometown. And it's a great honor for me to be here, and thanks to the host for having us.
Since you announced your presidential candidacy in April, you had dozens of meetings and Zoom calls with the representatives of different countries. How were the reaction of those people?
Yeah, I try to make as many Zoom calls as possible. Actually, I'm also traveling to a lot of people. The reactions were overwhelmingly positive. I didn't expect this, but according to the reactions, I for sure will win the elections. There was almost nobody who wants to continue on the path we are on right now.
What are the biggest challenges that the global handball faces at the moment?
The major topic is about the Olympics, about the status of handball as an Olympic sport. We need to be an Olympic sport, and we have to be an Olympic sport in the future. The IOC is rating the sports according to a special system, which includes the TV ratings from all participating nations. And as handball is very popular in a lot of small nations like Norway, like Croatia, Slovenia, Iceland, the TV rankings have to be improved, and therefore we need to invest in the major markets in India, in China, in the US, in order to get more visibility for our sport.
As you said, you visited many countries. What were, let's say, the special needs for handball in Asia, in Africa, or in America, for example?
The main learning is that the needs are totally different. It's a big difference between handball in Australia, Asia, Africa, and America. It is impossible as an IHF to have one program which fits to all needs. So what has to be done is we need to work individually with the national federations of the various countries, and we need to develop tailor-made programs for everybody. I am not the person who can tell the national federations what they have to do. They have to inform me about their situation, and together we need to develop programs for the future.
You have mentioned that a lot of times. It's one of the key sentences of your candidacy. Europe must be the engine of the development of handball in the whole world. How can Europe support handball in the different continents and parts of the world?
The important message is that Europe doesn't want to tell the other continents what they have to do. But they have the facilities and they have the expertise to provide support, which is, I think, needed in the other continents. This support concerns the development or the education of managers, of referees, of coaches, of officials. And Europe is ready to provide this support under my leadership.
I totally agree. But coming back to the meetings you had with the representatives, after those calls, and also you visited some in person, what are your major ideas and visions to bring the global handball forward?
Visions and ideas are various things. So to start with the ideas, I think the most important is to play handball everywhere across the world. And unfortunately, we are not in a position where we can play handball on a 40 times 20 meters court in Central Africa, in Central Asia, or in Central America. We have to acknowledge that the facilities are not available to play this type of handball. I am very happy about the development in beach handball, and beach handball definitely needs to be supported. But one key idea of my program will be to develop a discipline of handball, third discipline of handball, which I call at the moment urban handball, which is played 5 against 5 on a basketball court, on a parking lot, or in a schoolyard. So something which can be played everywhere, and which enables everybody to start playing handball. I think this is crucial for the further development of handball in order to produce handball fans all across the globe.
Yeah, you talked about that many times. Handball is a truly great sport. It inspired you your whole life, and me as well. I love handball. But we also have to talk about the difficult sides of our handball world. There are many countries where the financial situation of the federations is very poor. And you also, I think, realized that when talking to the people. How would you, Gerd Butzeck, as the new IHF president, increase the funding of those, let's say, smaller developing federations?
Obviously, we need to invest. And the truth is that the International Handball Federation is financially in a very good condition, thanks to the work done in the last years. But I think we have a lack of investments in the past. So that means we need to increase the number of investments, and these investments have to be made fair and transparent. And there is room for improvement. But I can assure everybody, if he has an idea or a program, how he wants to develop handball, he or she develop handball in his or her country, for sure we will find a way, and we will find resources to support these ideas.
Maybe starting with that topic, infrastructure is probably the first thing to invest in. How important is also a new discipline of handball like urban handball, and how would an infrastructure look for urban handball, especially in the countries with a low number of indoor facilities?
I lately had a conversation with the Danish president, and he was complaining about the fact that he has not enough indoor arenas in Denmark. If the Danish president is complaining, this might sound strange to other nations, but of course that's the point. We have to acknowledge that we do not have enough playing courts, 40 times 20 meters. So accordingly, we have to develop a new discipline of handball called urban handball, which is played with less players, 5 against 5, which is played with simplified rules, and which can be played everywhere. And if I say everywhere, I'm speaking about basketball courts, which are existing all around the world, about mini football courts, about schoolyards, or about parking lots. So definitely we need a third discipline of handball which can be played everywhere. And it would be my wish to develop and invent this third discipline as fast as possible.
For the IHF Congress, you form a team with Ali Mohamed Isa Eshaki from Bahrain, who is candidating as first vice president. What is the goal of this cooperation, and how important is this intercontinental bond for you?
Yes, thank you for the question. I now know Ali in the meantime very well. We had a lot of meetings and we are closely collaborating. He built up a good structure of handball in his country, in Bahrain. And he's a real specialist of handball, serving as the president of the federation already since 2008, so for quite some time. And he is also serving as vice president of the Asian Federation. I have some more people which I would like to have in my team, and I tried to persuade Africa to have a candidate for the IHF Executive Committee. Unfortunately, this was not successful, but I think that for the future, the other continents need more involvement on the highest level in the International Handball Federation. And it would be my wish to have representatives from Africa, from America, even from Australia, Oceania, in the executive committee of the International Handball Federation. That's what we shall be our target, and that's what we need to work for.
Talking about the vice president's candidacy, let's talk about the other president's candidates. Since the EHF Congress in September, the opposition against Hassan Mustafa is getting bigger. And Franjo Bobinac and Tjerk de Lange also announced their candidacy to become IHF president. What is your opinion about having two new people come in and announce that?
I am very grateful that I'm not the only one. So obviously it's better to have three candidates working on a change than one. Obviously 3 people can approach more national federations than I could do on my own. So we have a good relation among the 3 candidates with Franjo Bobinac and with Tjerk de Lange. We are working jointly, and everybody has the major target to get a change in the position of the president. I think if we reach our goal, all of us will feel as a winner. And it's not the most important that who becomes the successor of Hassan Mustafa, but the major target is to replace Hassan Mustafa.
Yeah. Now you're talking about my next question before I even raised it. After 25 years of the reigning president, how much is a change needed within IHF?
So, honestly speaking, everybody I'm speaking to tells me that we need a change. Everybody. Even those who maybe potentially at the end of the day will support Hassan Mustafa for personal reasons, but even those people agree that we need a change. With all respect, Hassan Mustafa is now 81 years old. In 4 years, he will be 85 years old. And many of those people who will be in the Congress, they know him. And therefore, they know that handball deserves more.
The election is only 1 month away. Final question. How do you rate your chances of becoming IHF president?
As I said earlier, it's not about me. It's about replacement of Hassan Mustafa. And I think that Hassan Mustafa will get a little bit less than 1/3 of the vote. I expect him to get between 45 and 50 votes, and we will see a change for sure. Whether I will be the president or somebody else, I think that my chances are the best, as I am the candidate of the German Handball Federation, which is one of the biggest handball federations in the world, maybe even the biggest one. And I am strongly supported by Germany, and hopefully in the future we will work jointly together, IHF with the support of the German Federation, for the future of handball.
Thank you, Gerd, for answering the questions, and best of luck for the election in December.
Thank you, Julius. The time for change is now. Handball deserves more.